Good afternoon. Are you aware of the ways to offer tea with or without respect? For example, in the south of Kazakhstan, a little amount of tea is poured to a piala, and the host constantly refills it. The aim to show concern for the guest. However, in the northern part of the country, piala has to be full all the time. The host will pour it up again until the moment you finish it. Many traditions are kept by ethnicities of Kazakhstan. There are more than 125 nations and folks only in the southern capital. Together, we are going to celebrate bright holidays, taste interesting ethnical foods, and meet unusual rituals. It is a generous land. Kazakhstan is a multi-ethnic country. Many languages are spoken here: Kazakh, Russian, German, Uighur, Korean. We're going to visit several towns and villages over the next few months in order to get acquainted with the main traditions and rituals which have been carefully preserved by many generations in different cultures. This time we are going to visit Sukkot holiday, and we will know why people celebrate it in specially built huts. Also, we'll know the common sides and differences between traditional and usual Uighur weddings. In addition, we'll reveal the secret of making tandir flat cakes. And of course, we'll uncover the mystery of Oriental beauty recipes. An interesting ritual exists among Uighur traditions. A mother draws a unibrow on her newborn girl with fresh uzma juice. Consider that the smaller the distance between the eyebrows, the closer the future husband. In fact, for a long time, marriage was the main purpose of Oriental women's lives. Therefore, it is not surprising that right before a wedding, many traditional beauty recipes reappear. Painting eyebrows with uzma is one of the most beautiful and interesting Uighur wedding rituals. I see how often many of the assembled ladies carry out this procedure. But the fact that everything is running out with singing helps to be drawn into work instantly. Yes, but we usually paint eyebrows not only for weddings. On the one hand, it is made for beauty. On the other, it is helpful. You can paint eyes too. Uzma helps increase eyebrows' growth. And also, it prevents cataracts. Wow! Also, it prevents ocular hypertension. Are these leaves uzma itself? Yes, yes, it is uzma. Here, look. It already became blue. That awkward moment when you realize that you've been using the wrong makeup all your life comes from ancient times. Wherever Uyghurs are, they use uzma, and they love it. I'd say it another way. Wherever Uyghurs are, they have beautiful eyebrows and hair. Let's sing. Will you wash it out? Most rituals appeared a long time ago. They've been handed down from fathers to children to grandchildren, and so on. Some of the traditions have been forgotten, but the best of them, which are full of wisdom and kindness, still exist. If you want to get to know Turkic people, you should start from Uyghurs. As people say, if the globe rests on 3 whales, only Uyghur people have 3 of them. Because we have architecture, music, and writing. Everything is still present in Jarkent. Ancient houses with national Uighur traceries. And of course, weddings. Weddings still run in the traditional way. There's no holiday brighter than a wedding, especially than traditional weddings. The preparation itself is a holiday. Wedding is a special holiday for Uighur people. It takes an effort to prepare for a traditional wedding. Lots of bread has to be cooked on the holiday's eve. It is cooked in a tandir, on a pan, in a cooker, and even in a cinder. Can I do it with you? Of course you can. Do you need my help? Yes, we do. Please. Will we sing along? Let's sing together.
Қасқанды манта, тумақты самса, емейма қыдып жырласын. Қасқанды манта, тумақты самса, емейма қыдып жырласын. Вот у вас получилось.
Look, you can do it. Every kind of bread is named specially. We have bread for a wedding, for wake, for bishiktu, for khatimtoy. Every bread has its own name and shape. And the way you make the dough does not differ much. No, look, there is one without yeast. It is called pitiktash. This one with tea needs to be thin and is considered as dietary bread. So everything seems quite easy at first glance. Several simple ingredients: flour, yeast, water, salt, sometimes butter or milk. Nevertheless, you just need to add skillful hands, a good song, and a proper company to get not just bread, but a tradition. Do we have guests today? Nice to meet you. This is our family bread. Alya, come with me. I'll show you how it's made. Tandir flatbread been cooked hundreds or maybe thousands of years ago. The technology remained the same. There are some eternal rules which only Turkic people know. The tandir is already hot, over 300 degrees Celsius. We need saksaul firewood because it gives special taste to the bread. And why do we need water? We wet the back parts of the flatbread to stick them to the tandir. As Roshangul said, tandir has special construction which makes the temperature in the stove evenly distribute. It helps increase the rate of baking bread and helps to preserve its taste without over-drying it. Uighurs have plenty of different types of bread. The largest flatbread is family flatbread. What is that on top? It is pitor tugash. It is served on weddings traditionally. Also, we've got peasant bread. It is bouffant and delicious, and usually it is cooked with tail fat. Next, komnan. Of course, there is no Uighur cuisine without samsa. However, there is one more dish, which is served at weddings. It is a cinder-baked pumpkin. It's called torpan kova. It is served in the end of the wedding, and it has to be baked only in cinder. Cinder-baked pumpkin is a special dish, and according to Uighur traditions, each guest should taste at least a little bit of it. Uighur weddings is an example of treasury of traditions. It is a grand performance with its own roles, which are usually played properly. For example, the fact that the bride's parents banish groom's parents from the porch for 2 times is just a formality. However, both sides can reach the agreement only within the 3rd try. Wedding lasts for 3 days. The day before, the wedding groom's family should bring the food for the holiday. It's called malguruch. Then the preparation for the holiday starts. The groom's father gives parting words to his son and sends him to the bachelor party. In the morning of the wedding day, the bride's house starts to receive guests, firstly men, then women. There is a lot of fun, dancing, and of course plenty of food. That day also is a Muslim wedding ceremony, nigah, takes place. The mullah leads it. The most vivid moment of the wedding ceremony is the ritual of making a bonfire in front of the groom's house. It should happen before the newlyweds enter the house. They should circle the bonfire holding hands for 3 times. This ritual symbolizes purification and it should bring happiness to the newlyweds. The next day after the wedding, the groom's parents invite everybody to their house. At first, the bride's family and her friends. This tradition is called chilak. The bride should greet everybody. There is yangach among the guests from the bride's side. It is a woman with a good reputation. However, she has to perform nasty little duties. She has to report about the young wife's purity and honesty. Yangak said her word. Everyone thanks the bride's mother for raising such a good daughter and blesses the young wife. It is called bata. Here's an Uighur wedding with its traditions, rituals, and of course, with joy. Kids, what holiday are we going to celebrate today? Sukkot. You know, the Jews' New Year starts in autumn. Holidays and preserving the traditions is a very important aspect of Jewish life. Every holiday is full of its own history, rituals, prayers, and special repasts. Join us if you're interested in being acquainted with it. Sukkot holiday is such a time for the court, the time when all the heavenly decisions are made for the whole Jewish people, for each Jew particularly, and for the whole world. You can fix something by your good deeds, by your repentance after the Rosh Hashanah. Then after 10 days, the Redemption Day, the day of forgiveness comes. The autumn holiday, Sukkot, or the holiday of Sukkah, means hut, and it lasts for 7 days. According to Leviticus, each family has to build its own hut, Sukkah. It reminds about the Israelites wandering through the desert during the Exodus. Jews were living in portable huts those times, and only the Lord could protect them. Sukkah is made of any available materials. Sukkah should have only 3 walls, the 4th one can be opened. Branches or boards should cover the roof, however the sky has to be seen through the roof. Such roofs cannot be a good shelter from bad weather, but that is the main purpose. It symbolizes the refusal from the illusion that a roof makes a house safe. The Lord said to Jewish people that they gather their crop, that they do not think that this world belongs to them. They have to leave their houses. It is a temporary place, and the master here is not a human, but the great Lord. Another commandment that has to be followed these days is the commandment about 4 species of plants. These plants are etrog, fruit of a citron tree; lulav, a date palm branch; hadass, a myrtle tree branch; arava, a willow tree branch. Every day during the morning prayer, the combination of these 4 plants is taken in hand and with special words of a prayer joined together. A person performs special movements upward, downward, and to the cardinal directions, of course in a special order. If you want to understand the meaning of the commandment, you should understand what these plants symbolizes. The tradition says that these plants are like different people with their different attitudes to Torah. Each person has to know the main rules of everyday life. I was at an early age. We moved to Almaty with my parents, so I lived in Almaty during my childhood. Furthermore, we didn't know anything about being Jewish. And how could they know? The first information about the surrounding world we received from our parents. They are main conductors to life. Elchanan's mother had a typical Jewish surname, Rabinovich. Better tell nobody about that during the Soviet time. Thus, due to circumstances, it was difficult for Madame Rabinovich to follow these traditions of her people. However, pessimism is an unaffordable luxury for Jewish people. Therefore, at once, Elchanan's mother found out that there are Jewish communities in Almaty. How could it be otherwise? There's no country that couldn't become home for a Jew, because wherever they are, their Lord is beside them. Then he hit the synagogue for the first time, and it was the first acquaintance with his native culture and traditions for young Elchanan. Soon they found out about the opening of a Jewish school. Jewish culture, the religion, traditions, I liked it all very much, and I started to succeed. Over the next couple of years, he attended Moscow Religious Secular Jewish School, where he received the main knowledge base. Then he came back to Almaty, and soon he moved to Israel, got his higher religious education. Being a rabbi is more than just to know laws. Being a rabbi means living according to Jewish laws every day of your life. From dusk to dawn. Eventually, it was the time to get married. According to Jewish traditions, it is quite common that the marriage occurs by agreement of the two families. Usual acquaintance, dating, and then possibly a wedding is not the way to build a family for Jewish people. Elchanan has known his future wife since school. His mentors told him to take a closer look at her. Then, after an acquaintance, Elchanan understood that she is his destiny.
Моя жена училась в Днепровском еврейском педагогическом училище после того, что закончила 9 класс. И нам сделали встречу здесь, в Алмате, кстати. Так получилось, что я приехал сюда, и она была здесь. Я знаю ее с детства, то есть мы ездили в одном автобусе, у нас были развозки в школе. Все друг друга знали в лицо. Вот так, чтобы более близко какие-то... Знал имя, фамилию, там, возраст, какой класс, не больше.
We got to know each other and we decided to marry. We married in Dnepropetrovsk and then moved to Israel. So, Elchanan lived in different countries, but as a true Jew, he learned to feel himself at home everywhere. Because the most important is to remember your origins and your culture. And here, the preparation of a holiday meal is taking place. What is that we have? Fish, potato, onion, garlic, and pepper. And are all of the meals in the kitchen kosher? All of them are from the synagogue. They bring everything from there. And how had people been eating during the Soviet period when there was no available kosher food? Kosher food is food which has been reviewed by a Jew. Is there any forbidden food? Yes, there is. Pork and horse meat are forbidden. And what about the fish? Oh, this one is allowed. Piping hot. Boils, hisses. Let's try. Tasty. Congratulations, guys. Hak Sameh. People have a meal inside of the hut during the holiday. It is also desirable for a person to sleep inside of it. Of course, the obligation to live in a hut applies only to adult men. However, the traditions recommend for the entire family to spend at least a holiday meal in the sukkah. Sukkot lasts quite a long time. Step by step, after the holiday speeches goes lottery, then dancing, then a fish meal. After that, the meat meal. However, what will happen next is not for the camera. That is a mystery. There aren't many people living in a sukkah for entire weeks nowadays. However, Kazakhstani Jews live according to their traditions. As Elchanan says, each one should live according to laws and rules. And it is not important where are you from, because the most important is to believe that stepping inside of a sukkah makes you live together with the people who had been wandering through the desert for 40 years, seeking for a happy life for themselves and their children too. Sukkot is a holiday of joy and unity. Anyone who wants can take a part in it. Nevertheless, Sukkot is a canon Jewish holiday. It is a generous land.